Good evening, everybody, and welcome into our storm coverage here. Just trying to make sure we're all in good shape. Give me just one quick second. Okay, so now a test. Make sure that all things are good. So give us a big thumbs up if you can see us on chat or you can hear on radio. Just double checking to make sure all levels are good. One more quick check. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Rutherford County, northern Rutherford County, and this is going to be for the next hour. So we're going to be here for a little bit. So we might as well make sure things are in good shape, shall we? Pinpoint detail. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So we're in good shape. Hang tight. Warning for North Rutherford County. Sometimes when you're a one-man banding it, that's kind of what happens. So here we go. Severe thunderstorm warning. We have been getting reports as this storm system comes through parts of Tennessee. Damaging straight line winds. That's going to be our primary threat, and lots of rain, it looks like. So meteorologist Phil Jensko is joining us now. And Phil, this particular storm here has had quite a history up in Kentucky and now has just kind of become a big windbag, it looks like.
Yeah, that's right. That's usually what happens with these storms here. Looking at a little bit of Bo Echo here, a little bit here as it continues to move further to the south, approaching Rutherford County. So look forward to continue that wind threat here as we look at. We've had a couple of reports in here of some wind damage in northern parts of Tennessee. But yeah, most definitely those rainfall rates are getting into the 1 to 2 inch range for sure here. So hence why we have flash flood warnings here across parts of northern Tennessee.
So let's talk just a quick second about when you say Bo Echo, and we can see the presentation for those watching on Rutherford Weather. That's kind of where the wind energy is pushing the storm into kind of a bow shape, if you will, and that's an indication of this wind coming due from north to south, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, if you see that little, it's coming into Wilson County and near right around the Lebanon area there. That probably is the better chances for those high winds in that region. And that's going to get down into parts of Rutherford County eventually here. So, but of course, anywhere along this line, we could see those wind gusts get to 60 miles per hour or greater here. That's typical with these type of lines as they move across the region here.
Seeing a lot of rain, a lot of reports of flash flooding. It seems like these severe thunderstorm warnings are almost immediately followed a few minutes later by flash flood warnings. We've had so much rain. I wouldn't look for that to be any different for us. So expect a lot of rain and a lot of wind here in the next few hours, I guess. Next hour and a half or so through the county, probably.
Yeah, exactly. But good news is that they're saying that they're moving to the south at 55 miles per hour. But it really doesn't matter when you have a lot of moisture in the air. too. I mean, either way, when you're getting these rainfall rates 1 to 2 inches an hour, you're most and if you had a lot of rain, of course there's gonna be a good chance for some at least some patchy flash flooding.
Well, Phil, I appreciate the update and just pop back in anytime you've got an update for us here as the storms approach. We are just kind of settling in here for the next little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, no problem. We'll be in touch.
All right. That is meteorologist Phil Jensko joining us to give us an update on what we're tracking. And we're just going to kind of hang here with it, okay? Because this is not the typical afternoon pop-up thunderstorm. This is a front that's going to come through. It's actually going to kind of stall out, leaving us with maybe a more of a flooding threat over on the plateau and some rain tomorrow. But as this system comes in, it's moving from really it's south with a bit of a southeastward jog. So not directly down 24. It's more straight south from Davidson and Wilson County. So that's where we're looking for our impacts here. Now, a couple of ways that you can tell us what's going on where you are. If you are watching on Big G TV, we've got our coverage over on Big G TV. That's YouTube, Facebook, X, and if you're there or on WGNSradio.com/weather, RutherfordWX.com, you can see the video. Of course, we're on radio. If you happen to be out and about, 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, and WGNSradio.com. For those of you who are actually in the mobile apps, if you will, the social media apps like Facebook and YouTube, you can actually talk with us and send us your information. Whatever's going on at your place, we'd be glad to get that. I thought I had already logged in to be able to, I can see comments, but in order for me to comment, I had to sign in apparently. So I think I've got that done. So if you'd like to kind of let us know where you are, comments help. Share this with anybody that you know that lives in Rutherford County as we track the storms through the county. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect for North Rutherford County for the next hour. The storms are not in Rutherford County at this point. In fact, the storms are really approaching downtown Nashville to Mount Juliet to Lebanon. But if you'll give me a quick second here, actually, before I do that, I need to see the movement. Phil was saying 50 to 55 on the movement, but the National Weather Service in our warning, let me click on this warning. That's our warning. And see how fast the storm's moving south at 55 miles an hour. So I just had the wrong thing pulled up. So I'm going to be able to, on another source here, kind of track and give you some times of arrival. Yep, let me try that again. Starting to see a little bit of gusting out, which is okay. We'll take that. We're going to move it to the south and ever so slightly southeast. Better change that to 30 minutes, apparently. And we're going to go at 55 miles an hour. And let's pull up another source here. So this gives us our storm track. And it looks like the first impacts here in Rutherford County are going to be around 8:36 for Laverne. 837 for Smyrna. Murfreesboro by 847 with its current movement. Further south as we go. Okay. So that's the current storm track of things. Back to a look at our current radar with the warnings. You are seeing a tower camera that is in the Deason community. If you know where Deason is, it's right over the county line as you head 231 down to Shelbyville, just right over the Rutherford County line. And this is looking back into Murfreesboro, and the bright lights that you see on the horizon and the blinking lights, those are towers. Those are in Murfreesboro proper. You can see the bright lights down 231 there, kind of where my cursor is. So that's looking back into the storms into Murfreesboro. So we're going to keep that one up and going. We're also going to take a look at another camera that I can show you. And this is Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. And this is looking back to the north as well. So we're seeing some of the lightning as it gets closer. Let me pull back up on our radar and get over to a few of the comments, since there are a few of you over there now. Lots of lightning at Blackman Elementary. Leilani, glad to be on. Thank you. How can you see lightning this far south? The storms are in Nashville. Very electrical storms, and lightning can travel out in front of storms, actually. And that's kind of why we're seeing it. Lightning in Walter Hill. Sherry says this one is gonna not be good. Sherry said something about eggs. So there you go. You can maybe guess, but trying to keep it a little on the PG side there, Cherry. But no, she said nothing bad. But anyway, just poking a little fun. Hearing some thunder too. This is going to bring some wind with it for sure. A ground stop at Nashville International Airport due to the wind and rain that's coming through. The severe thunderstorm watch is going to include the rest of the counties, and we saw that update a second ago. It included Rutherford County, but now down into Bedford, Moore County, Coffee County. Just trying to look over. So the severe thunderstorm warning that is now just upstream from us in Nashville has been upgraded. Make sure that I have the right one. Maybe it's the one a little further north, but with a tornado possible tag and the winds 60 miles an hour and hail of about penny size. So that's kind of what we're looking at there upstream. A little bit of an example here of what meteorologist Phil Jensko was talking about a moment ago. See the shape of the storm as it's coming south? It kind of has that upside down C shape, or like a half barrel. It's because the winds are coming in from the north, and it's just punching in to air from the south and kind of creating that bow echo. On our radar, we can actually see the, for those watching, the winds as they are in the storms coming from various different directions. But the storms as they're coming in, due south. Before the storms are coming in from the south to the north. That's where we're getting our bit of convergence. Let's see. Any comments you'd like to leave, you can hit us up in the chat. I've only got the YouTube chat on, so let me switch over here and get everything. There we go. Now all of my Facebookers are coming in. Lightning show north side of Murfreesboro. Thank you, Jordan. Mickey Gannon in Las Casas checking in. Daniel Boyce in Laverne. Big Thunder in Laverne. Toward Sam Ridley Parkway area. Lightning is definitely picking up on our live cameras. I'm looking at the Murfreesboro Medical Clinic camera here, and what you're seeing is the camera for that's looking from Decent into the county. So now we have the flash flood warning. This is what the National Weather Service has been doing. If you're in Rutherford County, you're going to get storms tonight. Right now, the warning is for North Rutherford County, and it's for another 41 minutes. The entire county, just to answer one of our questions, flash flood warning for the next 3 hours for all of Rutherford County. So that was just issued. And we're seeing flooding out behind this. 1 to 3 inches of rain is coming in with this complex. If I can get something there fixed up for us. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning for North Rutherford County. That's what we're watching right now. We're covering this for you on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. Got you covered in all of those places. Also on radio, 1019, 100.5, AM 1450. I'm not so sure why my camera decided to do weird things, but we'll try to get that all situated there. Just looking at some of the reports coming in, lots of flooding reports. We can maybe go up here into Nashville and take a look right inside at one of the TDOT cameras. 40 at Stewart's Ferry Pike, and just a blinding rain right there. So that's what we have to look forward to. If you're listening on radio and you're on the road, got a little bit of time, but the storms are about to cross into Rutherford County proper. Laverne, you're going to be first up here in the next couple of minutes. See if I can pull over here and get us a new storm track. Zoom in a little tighter too. And while I work on that for you, you can see the cameras for those watching here. 55 miles an hour. We'll pull us over here to our second source. Got a few more areas popping up here. So, Noreen, you're close enough. You're just across the line in Wilson County, 837, and it's 836. Laverne, 841. Getting close, isn't it? Smyrna, 843. Walter Hill, 844. So a bit of a heads up. Downtown Murfreesboro by 852. Rockvale, 901. Eagleville, 903. Christiana, 903. And that is with the storms booking at 55 miles an hour. So tell us what you are experiencing where you are, and we can pass that along to folks here. Got some family up in Ridgetop and that's up in the Springfield, near Springfield in Robertson County, and that neck of the woods. Rough up there. So thanks, Heather, for that report. Got some rain in Las Casas. That's just kind of some pre-storm light rain, but it is cooling us off a bit. That could help. Thanks for that report, Mickey. Morgan is asking about the flash flood warning. How seriously do we take it? Well, we take all flash flood warnings seriously. 1 to 3 inches of rain in a short time, and you're on the roads and not paying attention, and the water's over the road, and you drive through it, that could be a dangerous situation. So we're going to be very careful with flash flooding. And we've had so much rain lately, and that allows me to bring up this good point. With the rain that we have had lately, and so much of it, and with the wind coming in, that could have weakened some of the tree roots and things of that nature. So we've got to be very cautious of that. Let me go check on some of the reports. Lots of flooding reports. Flooding in Portland. So we're seeing all of these flooding reports come in upstream. So definitely something that we need to consider here. Okay. Lightning is picking up on our camera over by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. Take a quick peek at that. Pretty continuous lightning coming through. Behind this, to answer a question, a little cooler, a little less humid. The front is going to kind of stall out near us. And as that front stalls out near us, it will leave us with some rain and storm chances. But it'll be more like what we had the past week or so, not, a storm complex coming through. Okay, back to radar. It's getting close to time to get down to some street levels here on things. It's about Rutherford County's time to shine here for the next 35 minutes or so with the severe thunderstorm warning, 3/4 inch hail. And that's radar indicated. Haven't seen a ton of reports on that. That's about penny size, but 60-mile-per-hour winds, what we're warned for here. And pushing into Ashwood, which is just over the county line, Long Hunter State Park, coming down into Murphree. You know where Hoppy's Harbor Grill is located. Just a minute or so from that, Weekly Hills. So next up will be downtown Smyrna, downtown Laverne. And we are keeping an eye on that. That was another really good point made by someone. We're keeping an eye on weather outage or power outages. First up is the Laverne area, of course. Laverne is Nashville Electric. Ouch. So there's that. We'll keep a close eye on Middle Tennessee Electric. In Lebanon, where the storms are coming through first in the MTE outage area, there are almost 100 without power right now. So there have been some scattered power outages with this in Wilson County. And again, all of this sinking southward into our area. You know where the racetrack is up in Gladeville. You're in it. It's right there on the Rutherford County line there around the 840 area. Someone, Benjamin made the, or it was someone a little further up, made the point about plugging in your cell phones. Get them on a charger. That could be very handy in case the power does go out. Keep those cells charged. Thanks, Sherry. Benjamin, I tend to agree with him about Nashville Electric, but we'll just laugh about those comments, won't we? So the storms that are going to come through are going to bring some very high winds with them. 60-mile-per-hour winds not out of question here. Trying to get my indicator up here to see. 30, 40 mile per hour winds, definitely on this leading edge. Could be about 10 higher than that in some locations. There is a storm out in Dixon. If you know folks in the Dixon area, I just saw that is now tornado warned. And that storm strengthening. So if you know someone in the Dixon area, now we cover Rutherford County, Tennessee. So if you're here for that type of report, I'm just going to mention that there is a tornado warning there over coming into Charlotte. It's over Van Leer right now. We're going to focus here on Rutherford County. Storms are between Murphy and, now not Murfreesboro, but Murphy, Weekly Hills, Trigger Island, Fall Creek Falls Recreation Area, Percy Priest coming in there. It'll be in moments at the Smyrna Airport Business Park. Downtown Laverne, you're going to be in the thick of it here in just a couple of moments. So it'll be approaching Murfreesboro Road, Lowry Street in Smyrna here in a few moments. One of the things that we hope to do really soon is expand our camera network, and we'll be able to bring it up in the app here like we're looking at this camera from Deason. Would really like to get Murfreesboro taken care of and the north end of the county with some cameras where we can keep an eye on 600 square miles of Rutherford County. So much rain has fallen in, and this goes back to the question that was mentioned a moment ago, how seriously do we need to consider this flooding? It's now a considerable threat, flash flood warning for Davidson County, and this is what will be moving into Rutherford County. So this is something we do need to take seriously. The damaging winds and the very heavy rain. Water rescues going on in Greenbrier. So that tells us how serious it is in terms of the flooding situation in Nashville and points northward. Thanks, Dennis, for that. South of 24 in the Laverne area is MTE. It's a portion of that Laverne area. So just looking over several different things here just to make sure we've got everything covered. Boy, the comments are coming in hot and heavy here now, so let me try to catch up with that. Not raining in Laverne behind the Smyrna Airport, but lightning, thunder, lots of that. I think we got everything caught up here. Teresa says, stressing in Smyrna, and let's not stress. You know, we knew that hopefully if you were plugged into a source of weather, that this was going to be possible today. And we're talking about winds. We'll get it through here. We'll get the rain. and hopefully be in good shape. I'm going to pass along any information that we can here. And I need to make sure that I tell Phil that he calls me, because I may not see him sometimes, trying to monitor all the sources. So we see the flash flood warning in the banner at the bottom. Not only do we have the flash flood warning, we have the severe thunderstorm warning, another 27 minutes. That does not include Murfreesboro downtown, but it's on the way. We don't cover Manchester, but what comes through here will head down 24. We don't cover Circleville, Ohio either. This is Rutherford County, Tennessee. Rutherford weather here for you. You can see from on our radar, the camera, that we're looking from Deason back into Rutherford County. The lights on the horizon, that's downtown Murfreesboro. Definitely see the lightning picking up there. Let's take a look at Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. And that's what we see there. Quite a bit of lightning as we look off to the north. That's where these storms will be coming from the north to the south. '24 kind of moves in a southeastward diagonal, but that kind of gives you a bit of a frame of reference. Some big trees down on homes in Clarksville. And again, I tell you about those things because that's what's coming. Okay. Those are the storms that are coming into our area. So those are things that have been observed, things that have happened with the storms as they came through. Are they the same strength? Are they the same this or that as they come through here as they were there? Not necessarily. Rain is approaching Mona, 840 and Mona. So that's the Jefferson Pike. Knocking on the door in Laverne. We'll be in downtown Smyrna proper here very soon. Beth reports the wind is howling in Laverne. Lots of winds with that. What about Eagleville and Rockvale? Sam, it's on the way. We're kind of covering this warning right now. So we're talking about the northern third of Rutherford County at this point, but it's going to make its way through the county from the north to the south. That gives me a moment, now that the storm is actually in the county, to try to do maybe a bit of a closer storm track to get all parts of the county in. So let's flip over to our second screen, and I'm going to read these off for our radio friends. If you can see them, that's wonderful. Laverne 850. So it's upon us. Walter Hill coming in, Smyrna as well. Downtown Murfreesboro right before the top of the hour. So a few moments for that. This may be a little fast. I know it seems like maybe it's slowed a bit. Our storm track is saying Eagleville at 9:08, Christiana 9:08, Rockvale 9:10. I'm a little skeptical that it's going to be that quick. So I'm going to take the time down just a smidge. Saying 55, but we'll see when we get the new warning for sure from the National Weather Service. So here in the next bit, of course, and we'll continue to watch as the storms make their way in. Walter Hill, you've got some rain, but the wind is just behind. Las Casas, you're up next. You're just barely in the warning. Milton, you're not. You will be in the next one, I'm sure. Probably the rest of the county. The entire county is under a flood warning for the next 3 hours. And the information on that flood warning, 1 to 3 inches of rain is possible. And flash flooding is ongoing in areas where the storms have come through. In fact, a considerable flash flood warning just upstream. And I'm not missing any messages from the National Weather Service here. They're giving us the heads up on everything here, and I think we're caught up there. Quick gander at the comments. Benjamin talking about the storms as they get further south. Are they going to lose a little oomph, or will they continue to strengthen? Don't think there will be any strengthening. How much they lose going this far south. The storms came in a lot quicker than we expected. Thought this was going to be maybe in the 10 to 11 time frame, and we're in the 9 p.m. time frame. So we're just after sunset. And so a little more heating is here. Raining in Walter Hill pretty good. Here the wind picking up. Thanks for that report, Haley. Any reports, you can drop them in the chat if you are on YouTube, Facebook, or X. We'd love to see those. We can definitely tell as the storms get closer to our camera in Deason that the lightning is picking up, and the camera is looking a good 23 miles due north. And that's how much lightning is happening, 23 miles from the leading edge of the storm. I can hear things picking up in the Siegel area as well. Let's see if this camera is not updated. Sure. But I can hear the wind picking up and rattling a few things outside here. Judy, not much in Murfreesboro? No, because it's still affecting North Rutherford County, pushing into downtown Laverne proper, around Jefferson Springs. The heavier rain in Laverne approaching Smyrna. So that's kind of where our storms are at this point. Current warning, severe thunderstorm warning, has another 19 minutes. There will almost definitely be another one issued downstream from that. Beth, thanks for the report. Rain at Laverne High School. Big hit of rain in Laverne, and now kind of slacking off a bit. National Weather Service is very concerned about that storm in Dixon, by the way. So just to tell you, that's Dixon. We're Rutherford County. We're not looking, that's a tornado warned storm. We're not under a tornado warning at this point. That's not for us. Because a lot of times you see reports or hear reports and then it gets mixed, right? Into what we're dealing with. Separate storm. But if you know some folks that are in that particular area, you may want to give them a heads up because you're watching the weather. They may not be. National Weather Service just sent some information about the rotation seems to be strengthening there. So just thought I would pass that along. Let's look at our winds while we have a moment. And if you're watching, you can see these little white lines that are kind of in motion. So we can see that the in red, under that, we see that it's kind of moving from the north to the south. And then below that, we're seeing that it's moving really from the southwest. So that's kind of our winds aloft. Definitely not seeing any. Hold on a second for radio. We've hit the top of the hour. Let's see. Definitely seeing some stronger winds right now. West of Walter Hill, near Riverview, Jamestown. There's 840. Let me see if I can pop up some streets. Reagan Drive, Central Valley Road. So this is Walter Hill and 231, right there. Where you see the brighter colors, that's where we have some of the higher winds coming in. Rucker Lane, Florence Road. This is over on the west side of 840. So the brighter colors are where we're seeing some of the higher winds here in the county. There are some others that are scattered from Smyrna to Laverne. So this is definitely warranting our severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go back to how hard it is raining in that particular mode. National Weather Service saying getting lots of flooding reports. Heaviest swath of rain is from Goodlettsville moving southeast through northern Rutherford County. Rates between 4 to 5 inches an hour possible. So we're talking about a swath in this kind of area. My dog must have found a hairball. So from Laverne to Smyrna down to Murfreesboro, eastern side of Rutherford County. That doesn't mean in Christiana and Eagleville and Rockville, you're not going to get heavy rain, but the heaviest corridor of rain that's producing the 4 to 5 inches an hour, that rain is falling kind of in this swath that I just mentioned. Wind picking up in the Las Casas area. And that's kind of on cue right there, Mickey. So looks like our storms are getting close. We're close to needing. I think our storm is going to outrun the next 14 minutes of this particular warning. Just keeping an eye on things from the Weather Service. Possible touchdown, tornado touchdown in Dixon County. That's Dixon County. That's not Rutherford County. I tell you because we're close. We're a few counties over. Could have friends or family there. Just want to let you know. Rick is on Rucker. Moderate rain now. Large wind gust. We have, I have seen a few people reporting kind of seeing a wall cloud. All a wall cloud is just that big gust of wind, right? Four to 5 inches per hour, but how long will it rain? Well, it's kind of running through pretty quick, but to answer your question, Parker, it's still raining up in Hendersonville and in Nashville, where areas that are under this considerable flood warning. Right here, let me outline it there. You can see that is directly going to impact the eastern half of Rutherford County, really from I-24 to the east as it comes this way. But it's still raining considerably in that neck of the woods. So it could take a minute to get through here. That doesn't mean that it's going to be 4 to 5 inches of rain, but we are seeing some reports of rainfall that heavy, that far north. Haley saying very heavy rain, raining sideways in Walter Hill. Thank you for that report. I can hear outside my studio windows. Here, the wind has definitely picked up. Not sure what has happened to my camera. There we go. So this is what it looks like in the Siegel area as the wind is picking up. See the lightning, of course. So this is pushing from Walter Hill. Will be at 24 and the intersection of Compton Road and Thompson Lane here in moments, if not now. So let's go back to the radar so we can keep an eye on that. And yeah, we're about to push outside of the warning here. We're probably going to get an extension of that warning here real soon. You've got rain in Laverne. Once we get the push of wind initially that comes through, then it's just the heavy rain that we're going to have to deal with. Okay. So if you've got heavy rain and it's been raining for 10 or 15 minutes, you may still have some wind, but it's not the damaging 60-mile-per-hour winds that could cause trees to come down, tree limbs, things of that nature. If you're in downtown Murfreesboro, Christiana, Rockvale, Eagleville, you're saying, what's going on here? Reedyville, Kittrell, Floration, but it's on the way. The camera that you see is kind of right here where I'm circling with the my hand or the mouse, and it's looking due north into this storm. The lights that you see in the background, that's the glow from Deason of the downtown Murfreesboro lights. So we've got a good vantage point there from a good distance away. Up to 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible with these storms as they come through. We took a sampling just a few minutes ago of some of that. Laverne, you're just kind of in the rain right now. Smyrna, it's still got a little bit back here around the hospital and the airport, but it's coming into downtown Smyrna proper. Trying to answer some of your questions. Hey, Perry, good to see you. Neighbor, the mayor. Let's see. I think we've hit up all the questions here. We have cooled in the top of the hour to 76 degrees at the Smyrna airport. Big boom of thunder here. 75.9 degrees 10 minutes ago. In Murfreesboro, it's still 86 degrees. So that shows you a bit of a difference there, huh? Trying to get to as many specifics as possible. Smyrna, Amityville exit, not even raining yet. Yeah, but it's right on you. Seeing some, let's see, strong winds headed for Blackman. Yes, not there yet, but headed there. In fact, from Blackman, we're about 9 miles away from the storms, give or take. Gives me a chance to kind of look at some of the TDOT cameras, for instance. Here is 24 west of Sam Ridley Parkway. We're seeing very heavy rain there. So that's Sam Ridley. And this is east of Sam Ridley, so another vantage point looking back the other way. But we go down here just a smidge to Sam Ridley as well. This should be Rocky Fork here. Let me take a look there and see what we've got going on. And just beginning to rain, but you can see the camera kind of waffling there a bit. And the wind-driven rain down the interstate. But we go down just a piece down I-24 at Rocky Fork. Barely any rain at this point. You can see the trees as well. Not a lot of wind, but it is on the doorstep. So that's kind of where things are now. Blackman on the way. Downtown Murfreesboro on the way. About to hit West 840 in western Rutherford County. Anthony, I don't know about flood warning. Haley was asking about what's going on in Dixon. Still a tornado warning there, but we're seeing signs of weakening with that storm a little bit. So that's good news that we're following there from a distance. Trying to answer all of your questions. If you're just joining us, Brian Barrett with Rutherford Weather. We're on Facebook, X, YouTube, at Ruco Weather. Share this out to your friends, family, anybody living in Rutherford County. We'll keep you updated on what's going on here. For those on radio, it's 1019, 100.5, 1450 WGNS. So we can cover you if you're on the roads or listening in your home or watching on any of the social channels there. Give you a look at as the thunder booms. This is Murfreesboro Medical Clinic camera looking to the north. We can see the trees right just above that banner beginning to blow there pretty good as the storm comes into Murfreesboro, the north parts of Murfreesboro. Take that off here for just a second. And you can see the winds there going pretty good. I didn't miss Phil again. I think I did. There's a little warning box that pops up in the very smallest part of my system here, and I just don't always see it. You're supposed to give me a call as well if I don't answer, but that hasn't happened. Nathaniel, I can't remember. I think you're in the Laverne area, if I remember right, saying neighbors lost power, but he hasn't. So that's good news. Thank you for that reminder. Let me look here at power outages holding steady from Middle Tennessee Electric. No outages reported in Rutherford County for MTE at this point. They will not be reissuing that tornado warning for Dixon, so that's good news for those concerned about our friends over there. That storm has weakened and will no longer be tornado warned. The next warning, which I expect here in the next 3 minutes, will be for the rest of Rutherford County, I suspect. Right. I know Laverne uses NES part of Laverne. I don't have the NES map here, although I would imagine there are a lot of outages. Pull that up here real quick before we get reissuance of a warning. $1,500 customers without power, but not reporting their website, at least, not reporting any in Laverne at this point. But I've got that pulled up and I'll keep an eye on it. Once we get an update on how fast these storms are going, I can do a storm track, but storms are coming in to downtown Murfreesboro. Wind's been going here pretty good. No NES outages in Laverne by Laverne High School. Thank you for that. In the midst of all of this, do keep in mind we do have a flood warning in effect, and that's going to be for the next 3 hours. So we're going to have to deal with all of this rain that you see coming through, and it is dropping in buckets. 4 to 5 inches per hour. So we've got to keep a close eye on all of that as well. I was mentioning about all of the places where you can watch Rutherford weather, and if you are there, you can comment in the comment section, and I can see those, and I'll be more than happy to pass that along. In fact, it really helps others know what's going on where you are. Lots of lightning and thunder in Laverne, according to Melissa on Facebook. Thank you for that. There's no way I can get to all of them, and I appreciate every one of them, but I do look. I'm trying to keep a very close eye there. Will it get to Veterans Parkway, Armstrong Valley Road? Yes. There's not a part of Rutherford County that will not see a storm. How bad it is in terms of is it severe or not, we're kind of waiting on the National Weather Service to see. You can definitely see from that looking into the storm as it gets closer to Deason. It's crazy, crazy lightning. Wind is definitely picking up here at my place. Here is a look at Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. I'm going to take this off here again so you can see the trees. So you can see the trees there looking north, the wind-driven rain. This is in the Gateway area, Murfreesboro. So 40, 50 mile per hour winds are happening. Could have up to 60 mile per hour wind gust with the particular storms as they're coming through. So pretty much the northern half of Rutherford County in a considerable amount of flooding right here. Now, I will say that our severe thunderstorm warning is canceled, and there has not been a reissuance of a severe thunderstorm warning here downstream. Maybe a little surprising. That doesn't mean that it can't happen, but this is definitely a good sign, I would say. And looking at the latest winds, of course, the National Weather Service, they're the true professionals in all of this. Winds are maybe 30, 40 miles per hour, but we're not seeing any of those brighter colors that would indicate winds that are over 58 miles per hour. And even on that leading edge. Okay, so that's that is good news. So since we do not have, and Benjamin was asking about chances for a tornado warning, I wouldn't think so. And the fact that there's no severe thunderstorm warning is really a good sign that maybe this has weakened in terms of the wind. Do think the real story is going to be the rain. So one of the things I'll pull out here and kind of talk about that a little bit, we're seeing the storms to the west. Those storms are kind of maybe robbing a little bit of that energy. But these storms still have to drop to the south as well. Are they dropping southeast or are they dropping due south? There's a little bit of a southeastward motion, but not much. But it's this corridor of heavy, heavy rain. See how, I mean, we're talking about buckets of rain in Laverne and Smyrna right now. Sharon, you are very welcome. So with that being said, I think this would be a good opportunity to kind of tell you how we will we'll go here in terms of our coverage. If you are listening on radio, we're going to go back to regular programming. We don't have a warning in terms of severe thunderstorm warning or anything like that. We do have the flash flood warning, and we've got to be very careful of that, okay? If you're listening on radio and want to continue to get coverage, pop on over to Rutherford Weather. Just search for RUCO, R-U-C-O weather on social platforms like YouTube, Facebook, X. You'll be able to see the live stream and you can watch, or you don't even have to watch. You can listen the same way. But we're going to go back to our regular programming on WGNS. We'll break in. I have everything pulled up here where I can easily just hop back on and rejoin you if things warrant. But right now, it does not appear. I wanted to wait a few minutes just to see if the National Weather Service decided to pull the trigger on a warning. And it doesn't appear, unless things pulse up, that they are. So this is good news for Blackman and Murfreesboro, Reedyville, Rockville, Eagleville, Christiana, Fosterville, Bradyville, in terms of a severe thunderstorm warning, but not the flash flood potential. We will continue our coverage on Rutherford Weather on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Okay, but for WGNS listeners, we're going to head back to regular programming here. So we invite you to stay tuned. More to come on the weather situation. I'm Brian Barrett for Rutherford Weather. Thanks for being with us. Okay, friends, give me a moment to go turn the big radio down here. I'll be right back with you. Not going anywhere here on Rutherford Weather for the next bit here. I will admit to you that I have radios everywhere to be able to do this, since it's my normal daily job. But for some reason, in my studio, now I walked maybe 6 feet, and it's perfect. There's just something in my studio that interferes with getting our signal in. Let me catch up on a few comments. Few people signing off. I get that. Lots of rain, but we're going to stay here for a little bit, at least to kind of watch the flooding situation and the power outage situation. But I think we're going to be okay there. Wind picking up now. Heavy rain in Murfreesboro. Yes. Lots of cloud to ground lightning on 24 in Smyrna. We definitely have that. We can see as the, I'm going to kind of do a little draw here. Let me see if I can do that. So the camera that we're seeing here is located under this banner. So down this way. See where I'm drawing my bad arrow? But we're looking up into the storm into Murfreesboro. Well, the bright lights that you see right here. Now this camera's in Deason. You know where that is, across the 231. As soon as you cross over, you're into Deason. That's where that camera's located, up on the hill. Those lights are Murfreesboro. Tower blinking right here in Murfreesboro. Okay, so that's we're looking right into this storm. So we have a good vantage point there, which we are thankful to be able to pop on here. Heavy rain coming into overall Rockvale, Eagleville pretty soon. Still more heavy rain. It's still raining up in Hendersonville, for instance. And look at this big blob just near Nashville. It's going to continue to funnel on down 24. Someone telling me off of 96 near Amilville Road. Thunder definitely rolling in now. Very steady. Wind building, but nothing too horrible. It doesn't look like we're going to have horrible rain to deal with. And you're very welcome. Same to you, Mickey Gannon. I miss seeing you. I have to come by and visit sometime. Winds have definitely died down as we take a look at the Gateway area, but it's still raining pretty heavily. But if I take our banner away, we can see the trees, and they're not necessarily blowing like they were. You know, when you're going to get some wind on this initial push for sure, but nothing severe at this point. You look at the power outages in the Laverne area. See if we've got any updates there. Apparently no NES outages in Laverne and Middle Tennessee Electric. Let's see here. Quick refresh. Still holding steady. Quite a few outages in the very northern part of Wilson County. That's where their outages have been. No outages reported by Middle Tennessee Electric in Rutherford County right now. No road closures at this point reported by Rutherford County Emergency Management. Give me a moment here. See. Second to get an update here. Yeah, that storm that's coming in from Hickman County and Davidson County is really putting down some heavy, heavy rain. Lori, you're welcome about keeping you updated. So the flash flood warning is what we have, also the severe thunderstorm watch. Thank you, Dalton. I just saw your text, and he updated. And I wanted to make sure, since I knew that we had the watch and the warning for the flooding. That is exciting. Something I get to work on and fix, or he fixed it. I just get to add it. It's the thing that's right below me. It's kind of pulsating. It's giving us all of the watch and warning information. It's got the current temperature and time and all. Dalton made that. So I appreciate that, son. Where there's not really a whole lot of places in Rutherford County that aren't seeing some rain, maybe between Rockvale and Christiana, but it's going to fill in here pretty quick. And then it's going to get a lot heavier. Bass Beautiful. I like that name. Let's see. Some of these are just really fun to see. I like it. You think the storm following this one poses a risk of keeping the intensity it has now? In terms of rain, yes. Heavy rain. Looks very strong. Wind models show hitting Rutherford County immediately after this one leaves. It's quite possible. I'm assuming that you're talking about the storm. It's kind of up here in the Nashville area. Let's put it into motion and see. I've still got some pretty considerable wind that I can hear outside my place. In terms of that particular storm, I think that may affect like Eagleville, Rockvale, the western half of Rutherford County. As we see this movement, it's almost, instead of due south, kind of southeastward now. Or especially, just pull an arrow here. This segment is moving more southeast. This segment is moving a bit more south. Any of this could pulse up. This could pulse up because this area south of town is untapped. Now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. So there you go. That answers your question there. So here we go again. So let me do a few adjustments. Be right back. And we are rejoining here on WGNS because we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for North Rutherford County. Or soon, possibly, no severe thunderstorm warning. We're just talking about the flash flood warning. Pardon me. So just wanted to pop on and give you an update. Very heavy rain. Several inches of rain falling in Rutherford County right now. So we're going to be watching for flooding situations, that kind of thing, going on with our weather here this evening. What does that mean? That means right now, no severe weather in terms of damaging winds, things of that nature, but we do have rain falling. Just 30 minutes ago, the National Weather Service said some 4 to 5 inches of rain fall in an hour. So with that being said, we are watching storms upstream in Nashville that will make their way to the south and east that could pose some problems just a bit later on. And if they remain on the strong side, we could get a severe thunderstorm warning out of that. But who knows here with 30, 45 minutes to an hour down the downstream if things settle down in terms of the wind threat. But the rain threat is going to be with us for a while, another 2 hours on the flash flood warning. So wanted to break in and give you that information here from Rutherford Weather on WGNS. Now back to our regular programming. All right. One moment. Get to some of your questions. Let's see. Jahala Johnson, 2114. I know if we ever lose power, I can count on you being here. I will try to be here. You're very welcome. And as long as I keep power, that has been an issue in the past for sure. Second wave in terms of rain. Yes, Nathaniel. Sprinkles, a little bit of gusty wind. Thanks for that, Brent. Rain and lightning in Florence and Smyrna and Laverne. Yes. Strobe like lightning, North Murfreesboro. Sue Weather Chaser. Thanks for popping on to let us know what's going on there. Brent saying, does it seem to have maybe stalled some? And that's what I'm kind of worried about with this heavy rain. It's definitely slowed. And since we don't have, severe thunderstorm warning in terms of telling us the speed, we're not getting that necessarily. But as we put the radar in motion here, notice here's the first few frames and it's trucking along pretty good. And now slower. We are seeing some of the reds, the really heavy reflectivity coming back, diminishing a little bit. Look at the very last frame of that. See how it continues to come down just a little bit. But it's this batch that could clip the western half of the county that kind of has my attention up in the Nashville area. The heavy rain is going to slack off here in Laverne here in a bit. It looks like the heaviest of the rain. If you've got a break, Benjamin, I would. Kaylee Newland, 7051, don't anticipate a tornado warning. TV stations don't issue the severe thunderstorm warnings. That comes from the National Weather Service, Hayden, and we don't have one for Rutherford County. The only warning we have is a flash flood warning for 2 hours. That's the only warning that includes our county right here. But it is raining to beat the band here at my place. Let me show you this camera, the Gateway camera, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. I mean, it is pouring. That camera is on MMC and looking to the north. Visibility is, a quarter of a mile maybe? Sue Weather Chaser telling us water rescues in Mount Juliet. I've heard a few of those water rescues. Multiple roads flooded in town in Mount Juliet, Wilson County. Just saw that myself. Thank you for giving me that heads up. Go back to the radar here. So right now we have a flood watch, flash flood warning, and severe thunderstorm watch. That's what we're looking at here now. I mean, it is coming down. Take a look at one of these TDOT cameras. This is 840 Nashville Highway. Well, it's not the best. Let's see. Is that the same one I just chose? Let me look. Yep, it is. Well, let's just take it. We can see the cars, some of the cars driving down the road with the flashers on. Pretty slow go. This is 840 at Nashville Highway, Murfreesboro Road. Daniel, honestly, the comments have gone by so quick, I did not see the question, or I missed it or forgot. All of those things could have happened. Here is the clover leaf there, 840 and 24. Gives you an idea of what it looks like on the interstate. Some people driving with their hazards on. And look here on kind of the bottom of your screen as the cars come, you can see in the headlights just how hard it is raining out there. More rain for Laverne, yes. In terms of severe, not likely. That's kind of why we're hanging out. The storm here that's affecting western Davidson County, to me, looks like it has more of a southeastward movement. And if that's the case, I do think that it could get here into affect parts of Rutherford County. Although I did notice there's not a warning back there for that. See if I could see motion here. There we go. Southeast, so it is moving southeast, 25 miles an hour. I'm going to try to answer your question here, Nathaniel. Let me go here to another source. Whoa, nope. Quick second here. Oh man, I've just forgotten 25 miles an hour. Okay, so let's look here at where I can track some of the storms. 9:45 Laverne. So we've still got more rain. The rain that's affecting western Nashville is going to come through Rutherford County. So 1020 Murfreesboro, 1010 Walter Hill, Smyrna, 954. So if that's what you're asking about second wave, then yes, we have more rain. I don't know that they're going to extend that any further south in terms of severe thunderstorm. I think my dog found a hairball or something. I don't know what's going on there. Let me see. In a new window. See if I can pop this over and show you. National Weather Service just sent this out. This is some flooding at Bell Road in Nashville at the I-40 intersection. So that's what's happening in Nashville. And that's the same rain that's affecting our area. Hendersonville, 4 inches of rain. Gallatin, 3 inches. Goodlettsville, City Hall, 4 inches. So that's how much rain has fallen upstream. Springfield, 4.2. 3.5 to 4.2. Water rescue, Lebanon Road at Matterhorn Drive, Green Hill, Wilson County. Water rescues in Mount Juliet. I will have to admit, my daughter and son-in-law live in Wilson County, so I do keep an eye on Wilson County, as a dad would do. The thunder is a rumbling. So just so you can see, here's our decent camera right here at this circle that I just made. And again, we're looking directly into that storm right there. So anything that you see here in this camera, that's where it is, looking into that storm. The tornado warned storm in Dixon hasn't been tornado warned in a long time. In terms of a tornado warning here, I would highly doubt it. And especially if you're in the rain right now, heavy rain, that looks to be what we have setting up here is a big rain event now. Still raining pretty good, Benjamin reports. Flash flooding 24 in Bell Road. We know if you travel that way, how much of a problem that is. Let's see if I can pick the camera. It's Hickory Hollow, so that means this is Bell Road, hopefully. Nope. One more. So that's just up from you in Laverne. This is I-24, Bell Road. Got some reports of flooding there. Let me see if this camera shows us anything better. Could be westbound. Yeah, there we go. See the flashing lights there, slowing. Very slow traffic there in Nashville Bell Road. And we have more heavy rain that's moving to the south and east. So we have more rain to contend with. That's why our flood warning continues, and this flash flood warning will go for another 2 hours. So here is culprit number 1. And this will be culprit number 2 in terms of our heavy rain. Number 1 continues to move southward. Number 2 is moving southeastward. Keep seeing this about second wave. Second wave of rain, yes. Will it be severe? Not likely. I mean, it's 73 degrees. We've lost the heat, what we would need to have these storms be severe. Flash flood warning will continue until 11:45 for us here in Rutherford County. Just got that update. National Weather Service just extended some of the flash flood warnings to the north. I would not be surprised if they maybe extend some of those here, but water rescues going on in Robertson County. This became much more of a flooding situation than I think we thought. Lots of road closures in Sumner County. Flash flood warning. I just got that new update there. Let's check on a few of the roads here. Let's see. This should be 24 at 96. Raining pretty good, but that's about it, right? That 96 camera. A lot of hazards going down the interstate. These poor people here are going right into more heavy rain. A lot of tornado warnings tonight. Someone just commented. We had a few, not anywhere close to us. Up in Kentucky, it was much more of a tornado day further north than it was here. It was really never going to be that here. But yeah, a little bit more than we expected in terms of even further north. And here, boy, it kind of picked up a little bit of speed a couple of hours earlier, and I think that's why it's severe, or that's why it was severe, parts of the county. A few more comments coming in. Rain, lightning, southern part of Murfreesboro, Barfield area. Thanks, Bobby, for that. Diane saying there's a lot of wind in front of the VA. Rain, lightning, too. Warrior Weather Riverdale checking in. Appreciate you checking in. I'm sure we know each other. I know a lot of Riverdale Warrior people. Oh, you must not maybe hear from the area. We're not necessarily JC 1973-0 or I hate reading these names sometimes because I know I never get them right, but I think you know who I'm talking about. We're not necessarily in Tornado Alley. That's more Midwest, Oklahoma, parts of Texas, Kansas. That's the typical Tornado Alley, but this is a Dixie Alley, as they call it. Middle Tennessee, Benjamin saying, thank goodness for the Middle Tennessee Weather Dome, always keeping the worst weather around us. Well, I hope that's right. We've had our fair share. I don't know the answer to that either, Sue, but Sue Weather Chaser said in Tennessee it's illegal to drive with hazard lights on in the rain. I didn't know that. I don't know that I've ever done that. I don't think I have. Last year in a Memphis paper, there was an article about is it illegal to drive with hazards on in Tennessee? In Tennessee, driving with hazard lights flashing is prohibited. Tennessee is not a state that makes an exception for the use of hazards during extremely low visibility. Well, how about that? I think we all learned a little something tonight. Thank you, Sue, for that. Hanging good with power outages, which is a good thing. I don't think the wind is going to necessarily be a problem with that. Check one more source here. Yep. Well, let's see. We do have a few little power outages popping up now in Rutherford County. Let me pop over there and take a look at that. No tornado warnings right now. No. Raining in Rockvale. Thank you, Brad, for that report. Raining very heavy in Warrior Nation. Lots of lightning. That's Warrior Weather Riverdale. Seeing a lot of lightning. Not a lot of thunder. All right. Let's look at on my mouse here. I have one mouse and 1, 2, 3, 4 screens. So sometimes I lose it. Let's pop over here. No. Not that one either. Well, here's our MTE outage map. And we've got a little area near the Smyrna Elementary School with about 29 people without power near Smyrna Elementary with an estimated restoration time of 11:27. So that's this power outage here in, no, that's about as far in as I can zoom, and it probably doesn't do you very much good, but that's Sam Davis Road, I believe. Yes. So here's Nissan Drive. This is Sam Davis Road, and it's in the area near the elementary school. So that's what we're seeing there. This is from our camera at Murfreesboro Medical Clinic looking to the north. Still lots of heavy rain. There's some occasional lightning with that too. The heat advisory, there is no more heat advisory. That's over after today. It won't be the last one of the summer. I can almost guarantee that. But heavy rain, rolling thunder, wind, just nasty near MTSU. Thanks, Theresa, for that. Appreciate all the comments tonight. You can do us a big favor too here, and I'll get it back over to radar so we can see how hard it's raining and all. We started Rutherford Weather about 3.5 years ago. I'm not sure when you found it, but that's how long ago it started. It's looks very different today than it did back then. But you can help us grow the channel. The reason we want to grow the channel is to reach as many people in Rutherford County that want weather information. And it's specific to Rutherford County, Tennessee. We're if you want to follow someone who is going to cover the country or whatnot, what's going on around the entire United States with any severe weather situation, that's not here. But when you want to drill down to specifics and whether, in your backyard, well, that's what we do. And I'm sure that someone or family members or people that you want to make sure are informed about what's going on with the weather. You could do us a big favor by sharing where you're watching. You can watch on YouTube, on Facebook, on X. We try to go live on all of those. We do have a Twitch channel if you prefer that. Working on improvements on our website, rutherfordwx.com. I'm not sure if we got that working tonight. I don't think so. But our intention is to be able to have you see when we're live. It'll be there. It'll be our YouTube channel, but you'll be able to see that there. So that is kind of what we're hoping to have happen here pretty soon. But those are the places where you can find it. And when we have severe thunderstorm warnings, when we have, that can have big impacts in terms of property damage and things, tornado warnings, we're also on WGNS radio, where I work every day and have since I was 16. As you can see, I'm no longer 16. So it's been a few years. But with that being said, you could help us a lot by sharing the channel. Tell people about it. One thing that we do have, and didn't really get to it as much as I wanted to tonight, to make sure that our Rutherford County Emergency Management, they're a great group of people, and they work hard. They want to keep you informed and updated. And during these streams, if you've watched in the past, you've heard my phone ring. I have signed up for weather alerts from Alert Rutherford, which is from Rutherford County Emergency Management. You can get to it through the EMA website, the town of Smyrna, city of Laverne, Murfreesboro. I mean, the link is at many places where you sign up for that. They'll call your phone, get a text message if you'd rather have it that way. I prefer the phone call because it'll wake you up if you have it set as one of your favorites. But I put a link to that, or my son Dalton did on the website. I put it and then he made a better link, is what happened. And it's really cool there. Once you sign up for it, you can cancel out of it, or if you don't want it. But there's a link right at the top where you can sign up for Alert Rutherford. It's a great resource. If you don't have number one, the best resource is a NOAA weather radio. But to have something to wake you up during overnight events, which we seem to have way too many of, that is a good compromise if you don't have a weather radio from the National Weather Service, or a second line of defense, if you will. And it's free. Doesn't cost you a penny. Your county tax dollars are paying for that, which it's probably nominal. But it's a service that you can sign up for free and get weather alerts. So I wanted to pass that along. Let's see, go to some of the comments. Jordan checking in, north side of the borough near Siegel, just rain. Looking like it, Jordan. I always get a smile when you check in. I appreciate that. I know you've been here off and on tonight. Let's see. Riverdale swim team is happy. They've got an outdoor pool tonight. Giving away your trade secrets. Well, trying to keep us all informed and safe. I get alerts in all too many places. These are things that we all need. I mean, you need a way to get weather information if you're asleep and it's 1 a.m. something that's going to wake you up. Well, Alert Rutherford will do that if you have it set up on your phone. Now, if it's going to be a 1 a.m. thing and it's weather, for me, just being the weather geek that I am, I'm probably up and watching it before it gets here. Just me. Probably not you. Maybe you, since you're here now still, but that's kind of how I roll. But that's a great free way to get weather information. Let's see. Benjamin, I haven't, in terms of severe weather and things of that nature and going to bed, anybody can go to bed. Just have a way to get alerts. In terms of, do I think we're going to have any more severe weather tonight? The flooding is something we're got to watch for. But I would say our severe weather chances are gone now. We're 73 in Murfreesboro, 74 in Smyrna right now. Let me see when that updated. That could have been last hours as well. That was 30 minutes ago. Close enough. Yeah, thanks for that link, Warrior Weather Riverdale. That's what I have hyperlinked on RutherfordWX.com. It's right there at the very top. Sign up for weather alerts from Alert Rutherford. I just put it there because maybe that's a little easier to remember than smart911.com/smart911, et cetera, et cetera. There are links on many of the municipalities and the county's EMA website, but I wanted to have it there for folks, and I think we'll keep it there or keep it somewhere close by. A lot of conversation going on about the hazard lights. Sue, you opened up a can of worms, didn't you? And fireworks. Okay, well, that's great. Let's see. What's coming toward Eagleville? We've got the rain that is picking up really west of I-24, and it's going to slip down west of I-24. See if I can do it this way. This big blob of heavy rain here is going to be affected. Here's 24 right here as it goes through Murfreesboro. This western half, which is going to include Eagleville and Rockvale and even down to Christiana eventually. This western half of Rutherford County that did not necessarily get as much of this heavy rain that came down from north to south. That's the rain that's headed your way. But it is rain. It's heavy rain, but it's rain. Oh, you're fine, Sue. I was just joshing. Kind of fun to open up a can of worms sometimes. I've saw a few questions about Manchester. That's kind of outside the area. We are Rutherford County only. Check on thunderstorm watch. Apparently, we still technically are under the severe thunderstorm watch. The severe thunderstorm warnings that were, for Dixon and Williamson County and Cheatham and all that, those are gone. Here's some good news from the National Weather Service. Big picture, overall severe threat has decreased a bit, with current satellite imagery showing cloud tops warming. Although the severe threat is trending down, heavy rain continues and flash flooding will continue to be a concern over the next several hours. That was a couple of minutes ago from meteorologist Caleb Cravens at the National Weather Service. So that's the news that we got there. We're actually seeing the lightning really come down. There are several strikes here within this particular radar picture, but just looking at the live camera there, definitely trending down. I think with that said, I'm going to kind of take a little bit of a step back. I'm going to leave things here. I'm going to continue to monitor, look at any information, continue to pop on every now and then. Share with you any outage updates, power outages, but still holding on to that 29 near Smyrna Elementary. Looking good in Laverne for the NES customers that are there. No road closure information at this point that I see. Nope. From Rutherford County Emergency Management. So that's kind of the current situation. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue just to leave the radar here. We'll leave that live camera there. I can pop on if I need to and just kind of look at things here in the background. We probably at least another hour here so you can pop in and out, but I don't want to waste is not the right word. I don't want to use up all my voice here when it's not one of those situations that's warranted. I always try to take the approach of kind of stepping back a little bit when the severe threat is coming down. Not that I want to leave totally, and we'll leave the radar up for those of you who want to continue to check back in and look at that, but I'll continue to pop on when need be and whatnot, but we're going to kind of go back to level 1 here, if you will. I don't know. I have a name for that, but stay with Rutherford Weather. We'll keep you updated, and you're welcome to all those folks who are saying thank you on that. Glad to do it. And do us a favor. That's the biggest thing I'd like to ask for you to do is, again, share about Rutherford Weather. Help us grow. We want to reach as many people in the 600 plus square miles of Rutherford County, Tennessee, and let them know that we're going to be here to follow weather on Rutherford Weather, putting things in motion there for you. Hang tight here on Rutherford Weather. More updates to come in a few minutes. All right, friends, I think we're about to wrap things up. Meteorologist Caleb Cravens at the National Weather Service in Nashville says storms continue to push south. Severe threat is lower. The flooding threat remains. Strongest storms have put down anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rain. Heavy rain, southwest Williamson, Murray counties next up. So that's kind of what we're seeing. This batch of rain right here may skirt the far western edge of Rutherford County. This seems to have a little bit more of a southerly jog. So that heavy batch that's going through Franklin right now is probably going to go down into Murray County. And I think we're going to be left with all this light rain that's fallen out here. I did want to point out that this red polygon here is an observed considerable flash flood warning. That's that area that includes much of Springfield, Hendersonville, eastern Davidson County, western Wilson, down into the Mount Juliet area. But the faucet finally turning off there a little bit. So with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and end our stream. Watch out for flooding possibilities. Our flood warning continues for another hour until 11:45. All right, stay safe out there, friends. And again, for those of you who are still hanging in there, thank you so very, very much for doing so. And please tell your friends and family that live here in Rutherford County, Tennessee about